What's up, everyone? This is Diligence here, and as you can see, right now it's around 11 a.m. and I've already, all of these support lines. This line was actually drawn this morning, and this line I already have before. This line I already have before, and I will show you guys more graphics in terms of like technical analysis. And but I'm not gonna finish making this video as of right now. We're gonna make it in the afternoon and we're gonna post it after market, because it feels like every time, even though my prediction come true, it's sort of, I feel like we're still jinxing ourselves a little bit. So I'm gonna let this one sit, okay? But I've already know the price range, what the price range is gonna be, sort of like when market open and when, like, certain ladders things down, and you see certain like support coming up. But this is yesterday though. Today is a very interesting case though. Like, we repeat certain patterns. That means a lot of people a lot of shares, a lot of people sell off, a lot of people's share changes hand. But one of the most interesting mechanics of the stock market is, for those of you who are willing to sell, there has to be someone who's willing to buy. So what is interesting is, I'm suspecting there might be some funds that are secretly buying this stock, okay? But don't quote me on that, because again, I am not a financial advisor, and I don't really give financial advices. I do not give financial advices, okay? Everything I say on this channel is for shits and giggles and for entertainment purposes only. And we're probably going to post around 2 videos by the market close. So you guys will have some time to watch it, to think about it, after lunch, after dinner, after whatever, right? Because for those of you who are, international, for those of you who are in the beaver market, for those of you who are in Europe, for those of you who are in the United States, you guys have different time schedules. But I'm just recording this to prove that I have everything ready way before market closes. And as you can see, right now it's at 11 o'clock. And, I'm a little bit superstitious these days. Hopefully, everything I say doesn't really sway the masses, because I'm trying to be as independent as possible. And I know it's quite emotional, a quite emotional couple of days. Some of our portfolios evaporated like 40%, I'm in like this, it's the same boat as someone I think who talked about on our channel. Is like, oh, I lost like 29K. I lost like around 6K ish. If you count upside around the $12.5 mark, $12 is actually my selling point, and I'm gonna leave like 200 shares. But hedges can do things way before than we do, so whatever. If we count maximal upside, if we count potential upside or existing upside, I probably already lost 10K. But hey, like, if you can see my face, I am not panicking. I am not, having a heart attack. I'm just letting it ride, because I also have certain data and a certain like spatial analysis telling me how long like I have to hold. Like, for me right now, the dilemma here is this, okay? So I bought into this because I believe in a reverse merger. I have a lot of data, I have a lot of graphs, I have a lot of diligence to support that. There's usually, right, great outcomes out of a reverse merger, and there's usually 90% of the chance that shorts is going to cover, because usually when a reverse merger happens, like in the case of Berkshire Hathaway, even with that Indian bank back in 2001, and I think there are other things that I've done research for, but I can't pull it out of my head right now. And I literally did like 10 pages of due diligence before I actually, decided to bought into this merger. And, I also did a bunch of patent search and a bunch of like patent analysis. And, one of the subscribers actually asked me about, my background, or I think I commented with my background. So so number 1, number 2 on this channel, which is me, and number 2, right? We had pretty much a lot of VC. He had a lot of real estate experience and background. I have a lot of like trading options and trading stock market and a lot of like VC background. So like MMAT is actually right in our alley in terms of doing due diligence. And I really love futuristic shit. I mean, before then, I haven't started this channel, right? Like, I predicted that the space race is going to be super huge. As you can see, like Virgin Galactic's went up almost like 50%, I think 100% by now, maybe more than that, right? 200% or something like that. But again, like for day traders like me or for swing traders like me, there's a huge liquidity problems. Like for us, like I can make consistent return of say $200 to $500 per day, but because I bought into this merger and I bet huge on this merger, like literally I think this is almost like 1/3 of my portfolio or something like that. So then one dilemma I have is, okay, I have an anchoring position. So I have energy anchoring position, or I know I'm going to have consistent return until like mid-July, right? So I'm not really worried about that. And I have a gambling addiction where I sort of have to, I know that I will make consistent return on monthly options, but I just have to YOLO some of my money, like small portion of my money to do weekly options just because, right? Because huge volatility, huge risk, huge implied volatility, certain spikes also means you have adrenaline when you make that money. And later on when we have a lot of subs, when we start our Discord channel or our Patreon, I mean we're like, because we have a lot of shit to do, like we have a lot of videos to make, so we haven't had a time to do that yet, but we're gonna get to that, and we're gonna start a YouTube not a YouTube channel, we're gonna start a Discord real fast. And you can see my screenshots of a lot of my like outrageous option returns, like 400%, 1,000%, like 200%. But right now, like in general, because of Torch or metamaterial merger, I'm actually in a red right now. It's really hard for me to really say I'm in a red because it happens so not frequently. It literally, like if I trade 100 days, probably 90% of the time I'm in a green, and less than 10% of the time I'm in a red. I'm actually really embarrassed right now. Because one of the first lessons, I have 4 mentors who teaches me how to trade. I mean, constant communication with 2 of them, and 75% of them, right? So basically 4 of them, so 3 out of 4 of them tells me that when you establish, even though when you believe in yourself, you establish your position, you shouldn't establish huge, right? But for this one, because I have so much like historical data support, that's why I decided to bet big. Which sort of right now it's a little bit of a mental tour on myself, because even though I'm trading my money and other people's money, like the people who believe in me, they believe me, they're like, whatever you do, right, it's okay. But in terms of me, I'm a very ethical person, and I believe that whenever I invest my money or other people's money, or in the future maybe I become an institutional investor, I want to make consistent return for my investors. I am not like, most hedge fund managers where they can leverage one hedge fund's position against another one for personal feud, or, because they're trading other people's money so they don't feel it. For me, I feel it. And as I'm a cheap China man. That's why, or cheap Asian man, because, I'm sort of like mixed in general. Whenever I lose even $1, so when I started this trading journey, right, I started with like small accounts with $1,000, with $2,000, $3,000, and during COVID, without trading any options, I made 6x return during the big drop, and beforehand, I bet pretty big, but back then it's only 1K, right? I can just bet all of them into shorts, into the Nasdaq and into S&P. Because I look at the supply and demand stuff going on, the supply chain shit going on back in China, and I know that the COVID shit is gonna be huge, and the global economy is gonna collapse. And when right at the all-time high, S&P all-time high, I started buying shorts. Okay, and I only have like $1,000, so I'm not trading with margin or anything. And I think I just got lucky, because then by the time when it's like almost like mid-January, stuff like whispers coming out, shit's going down, and markets start to drop and everything, and eventually I made $5,000. So I basically made $1,000 into $6,000. Can pay majority of my rent, and then I got lazy a little bit, like during the middle of COVID, start picking up other addictions, like started playing games a little bit and chillax a little bit. And then afterwards, I bought in September again, made a quick, exit around like, I think around November, and I just let I left 20% of my portfolio just sit there, and then I started to lose money. And then by beginning of this year, I decided to come back again, and with some preparation, got some some of my great friends and people who knows my track record decided to stake me. And then right at the time where this channel started, I started consistently trading, day trading again. And I made you can ask number 2 on this channel. I pretty much in 1 week of that 3 week, or I think our channel is up for a month now, or during one of those weeks I made $1,000 consistently every single day. But then the second week I started losing money, and then the third week I make so I can by just doing day trade with my method, I can probably have consistent 200 to 500 returns every single day, right? But for you guys, the reason why I'm saying all of this is I'm telling you I'm also in this with you guys, okay? And a lot of you are seeing me as your anchor, or because my fundamental analysis are very thorough and I'm a very technical person, so you guys trust me, and I don't want to lose you guys' trust, so I will be as objective as possible. But as you know, market is really unpredictable, right? Especially for this Torch and MMAT merger stuff. Usually, according to data, when the merger closes and when everything fully closes, you will see a huge update, right on that day. But for this, the time schedule is really sketchy right now, okay? They close it so hastily on Friday. I don't know why, because usually these mergers closes in the middle of the week, so then you will have time for huge option flows to come in. You have time to make announcement for new investors to come in with a new ticker. But for this one, it's kind of sketch, okay? I don't know why. Maybe they sort of have positions with, they have relationships with hedges or something. I'm not really sure yet. But as far as right now goes, you gotta delete this image from your brain, right? So for right now, you gotta see it. You gotta see, let me pull up my pen real quick. Everything is new right now, okay? For new investors who haven't followed us for a long time, who haven't been doing research for the past month or so, or for past year, for those of you who have been doing research for the past year, right? Some of you bought in September, some of you bought in even early September last year, or the first Reddit post actually came out on late September last year, right? Some of you bought in December, some of you bought in September. I mean, someone bought in February, or some of you bought in around January. You guys are still great, right? Because your cost base is around $1 to $2. But for those of you who bought in late, like I did, you gotta delete this image from your brain. This one, this part, all gone. Just delete it. For you, you are just trading from this point onwards, okay? Even though you might have upper positions around $10, around $9, right? For right now, from $8, you're incurring a loss right now. But in order for you to not have a mental toll or have the ability of the strength to really hold on to it or even buying more, you have to see this picture. And I'm going to end this part right now. I think I'm going to post this one as reflection video, and I'm going to post another one as analysis video, because if you hop on the Chinese app, I have a lot of lines drawn out. As you can see, I have a lot of line draws out right here. I have a lot of line drawn out, but I'm not going to get into it right now. So this video is just going to be, a heart-to-heart to my subs, to my future subs, and to for those of you who are tuning in just for MMAT and for Torch, because essentially most of my other positions are still making money, but this one is eating away a huge portion of my holdings. And I did something quite interesting because I started this YouTube community. I have a stop loss line, okay? For every day trader, you have a line where you do it and you cut your losses. No matter how much money you lose, you cut it, right? It's usually 5% to a 12% line depending on the graphs, okay? And then for right now, I have 2 red flags and telling me that I should cut my losses. But because I've done a lot of due diligence and because I think I am correct on this one, so I am not cutting my losses right now. So I'm in this with you guys. I'm holding it with you guys right now. And if that makes you feel better, I mean, sure, right? Because my average cost is like is lower than the institutional average cost right now. So Roost Capital, right? The underwriter, their cost is around $10.2 right now to I think 9.9, like right around where it's supposed to open on Monday. So for those guys, it sucks for those guys, but those guys are institutional guys, right? And then we also have in the reverse merger, Torch holders, like Torch directors or whoever, like CEO, they actually have a lockup period. This is one of the SEC provisional clauses where, you know, when you got a reverse merger, they got to prevent those guys to dump the stock right after the merger happens or right after merger close. Why? Because from previous historical data, usually when the merger closes, you all see a huge like update, and then during, you know, past events or whatever, those guys will just dump. But those guys right now have a lockup period, okay? So they're in this with us together too. But their cost base is around $1 to $2. So if that makes those of you who have a cost basis of $1 to $2 feel safe, that's great. But for those of us who are here, you know, who bought in late, who are just here like from the 22nd to the 24th for the special dividend, I might make a video on the actual oil price appraisal, like the oil asset appraisal. If you guys are interested, leave a comment below. I can pinpoint a range of the dividend for you guys in terms of like a very conservative estimate, right? Like my estimate. And I like to do very conservative estimations because then I know my minimum price reduction from the dividend. What do you mean by price reduction dividend? Because whoever bought like during the 22nd to 24th, your price is way higher than what we have right now, right? So how much the dividend is going to pay you essentially becomes a per share price reduction for your cost, right? I don't want to go really technical on this video because this video is essentially a heart-to-heart talk about like what is going on, like why I started trading, and you know why, you know, this is really out of my character because I'm a day trader. I don't really hold anything long, and I think one of the only stocks that I actually hold long is Workhorse. I bought it like super low, like from the floor, you know, from the SPAC floor. And one of my other things is I have a consistent, you know, portfolio built on the Unilever, and I think I also have one of my other long-term investments. Actually, what was the other ticker? It's actually AT&T. But yeah, AT&T have like a spike when they announced that they're going to exit a Times Warner deal. And you made a bunch, and their dividends are pretty great. So anyways, this is just gonna be a heart-to-heart video on, you know, me talking, you guys listening, and not really a lot of fundamentals or not a lot of technicals. The technical stuff is gonna come because this afternoon it's our general YouTube filming day. So we're gonna have like the big camera and we're gonna film a little bit. And you know, number 2 is gonna talk to you guys about his experience, like why he started like working on this channel with me. You know, this channel is essentially started off as, you know, I just want to have a trading journal, like not a blog one, but a cool video one. And he's like, why don't we just start this one? And I'm very grateful for you guys' support. Right now we're sitting at 300 subs. Let's see if we can reach 500 subs by the end of this week. I know it's a very ambitious goal, but you know, I am very confident with my content, and I'm very confident with about you guys because you guys showed the tremendous support. And if you have any questions, comment down below, and please smash that like button so we can beat the YouTube algorithm and just sub. Okay, because if my feelings or intuition is correct, we might be in this for a short term or medium term for those of you who just want to make a quick buck, and for those of you who are doing long term investment, this thing can probably get to $20 at least, and then they're probably gonna do a at the market offering. I'm gonna talk about this later on in other videos where I'm gonna do a video on fundamental analysis, like very in depth on this company, like Meta Materials. Torch is like out of picture right now. All the old shareholders, all the old CEOs, whatever, they're like locked down in the new Meta Materials. So for those shareholders of old Torch, or like the CEOs, the directors, or whatever, one of the reasons they actually enter these mergers is I think they also trust, or they also have faith in metamaterials. So if you want more confirmation by us, that's there for you, right? But anyways, again, I am not a financial advisor. We are not financial advisors. We do not give financial advices. And everything we say on this channel is for entertainment purposes only. And again, guys, good luck on the market. Hopefully we'll see an upside today. But if we don't see a green candle today, don't worry. In my fundamental analysis and in my technical analysis, I'm gonna talk about what are my, like, is there a price floor for this? The answer is yes. And is there a temporary price floor where we will see a pullback up? Yes, there is one. Okay, stay tuned for the next 2 videos, and I think you guys are gonna love it.